a quick reaction to Girona versus Real Madrid post-match.
Winners there by a final score of 3-0. This was a really interesting affair as well because Girona had been the surprise package of the season. You look at this final score, Casey, and you say, all right, Real Madrid, they really wiped the floor with Girona, but as we're going to find out when we watch the highlights of this game, that was not really, Casey, the case.
No, it was definitely, the scoreline's flattering, and it's flattering because of the playmakers that Real Madrid have. But Girona very easily could have got some goals in this game and made it significantly more interesting at the end of the match. So, yes, the scoreline was definitely flatters Real Madrid, where Girona were definitely competitive.
So what I don't get, how it was flattering. Real Madrid scored 3 goals. And those are not like lucky goals. Those are real goals. So how it was flattering? If you look back last couple of matches of Real Madrid, there were missing goals. They weren't clinical. And today, they were clinical. So you were saying it was flattering just because they were clinical?
Goes first in the
table.
And
it's also the disappointment with Girona knowing that this was not, I mean, the stats show that right there. I mean, Girona more possession,
Possession doesn't matter.
Equal shots, I mean, it's passing. I mean, it's clearly Girona was in this game. They didn't capitalize on the opportunities they had to get goals. And then they conceded when they shouldn't have, and it looked significant. If you just look at the scoreline set, it looks comfortable Real Madrid, which it was not.
I think Casey did not watch this game. He just watched his statistics, and based on the statistics, he's making his opinion. Because this game was very comfortable for Real Madrid. Aside from first 8 minutes where Girona was really dangerous and could have scored a few goals, but other than that, it was all Real Madrid, you can say. And once Real Madrid scored 2 back-to-back goals, you can say literally this match was over. Just because you had almost equal possession, equal number of shots, it doesn't mean this game was equal. Anyway, if you look at Real Madrid's first goal, that was a beautiful pass from Jude Bellingham. Kinda reminds me of Modric, and Joselu just had to do a tap and finish, and he did it this time. And the pass from Bellingham was just perfect. And Real Madrid's second goal, a set piece and beautiful cross from Toni Kroos. And Tchouameni, what a header. For this goal, Toni Kroos exploited the space in front of Tchouameni. And Tchouameni just had a free header. And Real Madrid's third goal, another amazing finish from Jude Bellingham. If I'm not mistaken, Bellingham is the top scorer in La Liga so far.
Alex, a big result for Real Madrid and a disappointing defeat as well for Girona.
Yeah, a really significant result for Real Madrid, I think, especially given the context. Remember, they lost the Madrid derby last weekend. They've now bounced back with 2 wins this week against Las Palmas and now against Girona, and especially this one away from home against the unbeaten league leaders going into this weekend. It's a big deal. It's all good news, except that inexplicable late red card from Nacho, because remember, Real Madrid already had a bit of a defensive injury crisis going into this game. They've got no Eden Militao. We don't know when David Alaba is going to be back. Nacho will now be suspended, and that leaves them with a situation potentially next weekend against Osasuna, where Antonio Rudiger is the only available senior centre-back.
So I do agree with Alex about the last point about Nacho's getting red card. That was absolutely unnecessary. Why? A player with that much experience when Real Madrid is already 3 goals up? And you know that our squad, Alaba is injured. We have no one else other than you and Rudiger. And you are taking that risk, unnecessary tackle? That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. And that tackle was so bad that the player got injured. And now I would be stunned if Nacho doesn't get at least 2-match ban. Also, the other point, Girona being top before this match, I think that was kind of lucky. If you look at their schedule, they got kind of like easy fixture, but it's not really groundbreaking that they were in top of the table for a while it lasted. Now Real Madrid is back to the table, I think, which they deserve. In fact, I think out of all the teams in top 6, Real Madrid had the most difficult schedule if you think about La Liga fixture, because they have played almost every game in top 6 team except Barcelona. Most importantly today, when I saw the lineup today, I was so excited. I'm like, okay, this lineup is very surprising. I didn't expect. Camavinga as a left back, he was really successful last year. But given we have 2 left back already in our squad, Fran Garcia and Mendy, I did not expect Carlo would make this decision. And when I saw the lineup, it made total sense because Kama is better than other 2 right now because he can play anywhere. Second, this is the best midfield combo we have in our squad.
Almost all positive for Real Madrid, but nothing more positive probably than what we saw from Jude Bellingham, right?
Oh, for sure. I mean, it just continues to get better and better. And
we were watching a game, and you said when you watched him at Dortmund, you didn't know that he had this in his game.
Well, I didn't know that he was going to be that big of an offensive threat, and I think maybe it was just because of the personnel at Dortmund. It wasn't needed for him to do this.
I feel every video we have to talk about Jude Bellingham, and today, another day, he got man of the match, which he deserves totally. 1 goal and 1 assist. And this could be his 4th or 5th man of the match. That's incredible. Like, he's getting man of the match almost every match.
Alex, just how much credit does Carlo Ancelotti deserve for what we're seeing from Jude Bellingham?
Yeah, a lot, because Ancelotti basically has rebuilt the team around Jude Bellingham this season. He's gone for this midfield diamond, playing with 2 forwards rather than 3. That enables Bellingham to play at number 10. It pushes him up. It gets him closer to goal, and that's why he's been scoring all of these strikers' goals that he's been scoring, because today's goal is another example. It's the kind of goal that you might see a number 9 scoring. All of his goals pretty much they've been headers, they've been scored from inside the 6-yard box, they've been tap-ins, but they've been about being in the right place at the right time, and a lot of that is about his positioning on the pitch.
So here I have to agree with Alex for Jude Bellingham's success at Real Madrid at this rate. Carlo literally changed his formation just for Jude Bellingham. He made a diamond formation so that Jude Bellingham can be successful. In fact, Carlo made this change, which doesn't suit our forward. It doesn't suit Vinicius' gameplay. It doesn't suit Rodrigo's gameplay. Just for Bellingham, he made this change. Also, we don't have a real striker like Benzema. So he has to make this change. And he's working in certain matches like today.
We mentioned it in the pregame show that this Real Madrid, as good as the results have been all season, maybe has not overwhelmed, maybe has not convinced, certainly in league play. They do have Champions League coming up midweek against Napoli. Alex, as we think about Champions League, we know that is a competition that Real Madrid obsesses over. It's where they thrive. How does this performance maybe set them up for midweek in Champions League?
Well, in terms of the performance, it's interesting because we saw some of the stats, didn't we, earlier, and there wasn't actually that much in some of those stats. If you look at the possession, if you look at the chances, if you look at the completed passes, Real Madrid's XG was slightly better than Girona's, but not by all that much. But it was
Again, I said stat is important, but it doesn't matter that much in football. In football, what matters is scoring goals. If you score goals, you win, you are all set.
About Real Madrid being clinical and Real Madrid being decisive. And that, for me, is what the Champions League is all about. Because in the Champions League, you're playing against superior opposition. You get fewer chances. And so when those chances come along, you have to take them. And you need players who are capable of taking those chances and making an impact in those kinds of high-stakes games. And that's where Real Madrid have been so effective over the years. And
so to summarize Real Madrid's performance, I'll say it was a great match because we were clinical. That was we were missing in last couple of matches. It wasn't a total dominating performance like Girona had almost no chance. It was professional performance. And if you think about in broad picture, that makes sense because we're playing a match in every 3 days. So there's a lot of matches to play. So you have to think about other matches, and we're playing Napoli next match. And also, if we look at our performance today, if you look at our players' performance, of course, Bellingham deserved man of the match. I think he also had 98% passing accuracy. I think he was solid today. He was doing defensive work and he was also doing offensive work. He was a versatile player. And besides, the other best players was today, for me, second best player would be Camavinga. As I said before, like Camavinga at left back position is different breed. A total dominating performance by Camavinga. And the fact that he's playing over other left backs, that says that how much better he was today. And not only he was defending, he was also attacking. He was also creating chances. And Kama had today 98% passing accuracy. And how many duels he won today? Look at this stat. Our third best player was Tchouameni. As I said before, Tchouameni as CDM is undisputed. Whenever Tchouameni starts as CDM, we have much better defensive structure. we defend better. And most importantly, Kroos can do his job. He doesn't have to defend as much. And then Toni Kroos, do we have to talk about him? I mean, when you have Kroos on the field, you have much better calmness, you are better composed, and you know how to control the game. And in fact, after scoring 2 goals, when you have Kroos, it's easy to control the game. Another player that I must mention today was Kepa. I think he saved 3 good saves and he was incredible today. Anyway, let me know your thoughts about today's performance in the comment section below.